Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel, and I'm taking a break from my 30-day film challenge to review this new movie on Netflix, which was originally supposed to go to theaters, but with everything going on, it was sold to Netflix, and now they have a release for it on its original release date, which is pretty cool. And this film is, of course, Lovebirds, which is a brand new comedy starring Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani, and I really enjoyed myself for the most part watching this, and it made me laugh, so I guess that's really the only thing this movie was supposed to do. It wasn't anything great or original or brand new, but the chemistry of the two leads really did carry this movie to a point where it made me enjoy this movie, and without them, I probably wouldn't have. And so you've seen the trailers, which the trailers actually made me think that it was a brand new couple after their first date, and they get in the situation where some guy is killed and they are kind of on the run from the police because they think that they are, suspects in this case. And it's actually not like that. They've been dating for 3 or 4 years, and you see the beginning of their relationship, but you catch up to them at the point where they are probably going to break up, and they're not doing really well, and they're fighting, and they're bickering throughout this entire movie. And I was afraid, right when this movie started, when I realized that it wasn't their first date that all of this happened, I was worried that their bickering and their arguing was going to get really annoying. And I think for some people, you might reach that point where it might irritate you, and there's a character in this movie who even says that they are very annoying. But I didn't think so. I actually liked the bickering, and I thought it was funny. I thought it really worked, and I think it's because of the casting of this movie. I think our two leads are really, really funny. Their comedy and their chemistry bouncing off of each other really, really works. And I think that's by far the only thing that I can really praise about this movie. I think it's well made. I think it's well put together for the most part. There's some editing choices where, the two characters are having conversations, just, shot, reverse shot, shot, reverse shot. And there's nothing really special about the directing of this movie, but I think the main issue I have with it is the story just isn't exciting enough. And honestly, it was kind of anticlimactic, especially towards the end of the movie. It didn't really go anywhere besides developing this relationship. And that's all fun and good. And there were some really funny moments in this movie, but I never really died laughing. I had some good chuckles throughout. It wasn't like, okay, it was heavy-handed at the front of the comedy and then kind of died down. There was laughs throughout the entire movie because of those two, because they are in the entire movie. But outside of that, the situation that they get in and this crime that they're trying to uncover was really just kind of disappointing. It never really went anywhere, and it doesn't feel like it's a bigger budget movie. It feels like it kind of belonged on Netflix, which I think compared to other Netflix originals, this is probably on the better end of it, so they did get a good deal buying this one. It's definitely not a bad movie. But this movie really doesn't go anywhere. It sets up like it's a mystery, but the mystery never really goes anywhere, and nothing really ever happens towards the end of the movie. And like I said, it's very, very anticlimactic. And I will say there's some really good running jokes in this movie, especially one involving a TV show, because Kumail Nanjiani's character is a documentarian, and he doesn't really like reality TV shows. And so there's a really funny running joke, especially with the end of the movie, that really worked. There's a 1, 2, 3, go type running joke that really works. There's a lot of comedy that works in this movie because of those two. I just wish they were in a better situation and a better movie to kind of bounce off of. And I think comedies need at least one aspect that's over the top. Like you take Game Night, for example. You have a normal game night where the characters get together and, there's some bickering between the groups because they don't really like his brother, but at the same time, he's fun and he's entertaining, but he decides to do a real life game night, and that's where things go crazy, and that's where it gets over the top. This movie doesn't really have that aspect that's super over the top. Take Blockers, for instance. Very simple premise. It's parents trying to make sure that their kids don't lose their virginity on prom night. It's a very simple premise, but it's done in such an over the top way that it's like knock yourself out laughing. It's really funny. This movie never really goes over the top, and it has some aspects about this crime thing that they're dealing with that could have been really over the top, and it could have really worked in terms of comedy. But this movie feels like it's holding itself back, and it just really was really disappointing. And from the trailer, it made me think that it was their first date where all this stuff happened. And if that was the case, I think it might have added some more interesting things because they would have been getting to know each other through this extreme situation. But otherwise, they're trying to basically get back together throughout this crazy situation. And I don't think that's nearly as original. Like, even that other premise is not really original. But I think it might have worked better. It could have been funnier. You could have had more situations that worked instead of, finding a reconnection with each other, which we were never really sold on their relationship from the beginning and to begin with, because you get their beginning of the relationship and then you cut towards the end of their relationship, so you don't really get to see any depth in between that. So overall, this it's a fun experience. If you turn it on, get some laughs, you'll probably forget it in a day or two, which I'll probably end up forgetting this movie. I'm forgetting it right now, so it's not the most memorable or original or knock yourself out funny, but it was fine. So that'll be it for this video. If you guys saw this movie, comment below what you guys thought. I'm interested to hear what you guys think, and stay tuned for the 30-day film series, which I will be continuing. I'm having a lot of fun with it, so subscribe to the channel, leave a like, do all the things, hit the bell, do whatever, and I hope to see you all in my next one.